Hey everybody, it's Kelly and Yvette here with Tank Tops and Sweaters. We just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of recap May since it was so busy and there was not a lot of time to jump online and have some conversations and stuff. We focused on letting go in May, and it means so many different things to so many different people, and we can look at it in so many different ways. So we thought we'd just take a little look back, a little recap about what we've been talking about letting go.
Yes. Letting go, like Kelly said, encompasses so many different things. It's emotional, it can be physical, it can be all things, it can be the smallest of things, it can be the big things. So yeah, letting go is something that I think we do in our everyday lives all the time, but it's not the easiest task in the world. It's not an easy thing to do at all times. So I hope you have gone to our blogs because Kelly dropped an amazing blog on letting go, especially in the topic of just watching our kids grow and letting them go, letting them grow and be themselves. And it was just I thought, a heartfelt, touching mother's view, a parent view of how we need to let go of our kids to let them grow into who they need to be, um, which is something you and I are both going through
Yes.
as we have kids at that age. Um, we both have teenagers and they're about to go off into um, the next chapter of their lives next year, but it's still preparing them and getting them ready and all the good stuff. But then you also have older children, so
I
you've already been
do.
through this.
Yeah. So this is the third time of different versions of letting go as far as high school goes. But
Yeah.
I think there's letting go at different stages too. I think there's letting go of like even just that baby time and where they're toddlers and we start
Yes.
to to treat them differently and talk to them differently, give them a little bit of responsibility. And that's kind of how they grow. And I think it gets harder when they go to college or when they graduate college and become adults because then we don't really have any
No.
control, and it's really that letting go and letting them be who they're meant to be.
Mhm.
And as hard as it is to let go, it's a beautiful process to watch your kid become the person they were meant to be. So
Yeah, I am so looking forward to that for sure. Um, and going back to those baby stages and the toddler stages, I mean, it went by so fast, as
it
everyone
did.
says. But I remember, dropping my little one off at preschool and just realizing like, oh my gosh, they're not going to be with me 24/7, for a few hours a day. They're going to be in preschool. And it was just this overwhelming feeling of like, oh, wow, I have to let this go. I need to let them go because they have to grow into this. Like they have to grow into their own independent little
Mhm.
person. But man, that was a really, really hard thing because I cherished the baby and me time and the bonding. And it was so hard to let that phase go.
Yeah.
And I feel like each growing phase is just another one that you have to let go of
Yeah. A little more each time.
a little more each time in order for them to grow. And it's hard.
It
It's
is hard.
really
It is
hard
hard.
because you want to hold on and you want to keep that phase or that stage of life. And we're meant to grow, we're meant to become adults and to grow into these fully independent human beings, but it's like I want to keep
That's my
that little
babies.
person. Yes, I want to keep them right here.
Yes.
So
It
yeah,
is hard. And I think
it's really
May
hard.
kind of has that, for some reason, has that anticipation of the letting go a little bit,
Yeah.
especially in Florida. Our schools are done at the end of May, usually.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
they're done before Memorial Day. So we've had a
Yeah.
college graduation and then we've had the end of junior year and, things like that have already happened here in my house. So it's May brings it that like bittersweet, like we're done with this stage and we're on to the next.
Yes,
And they're happy that it's done, but you're also kind of like, oh, that means we're on to a new one and I have to let go of this to move on to that.
right, right.
So, but I think that when we talk about letting go, it's not just of like letting go when our kids grow up, but like you said, there's so many more things to it because you had kind of a different perspective of letting go.
Yes. So from my blog, my perspective was a bit more of that. I'm going to call it intrusive thought, or, kind of that voice in our heads, especially as women. I
Mhm.
believe we are a lot harder on our physical appearance and how we view ourselves. And I am very much one to be like, I just want to be healthy. Like, I try and put that mindset into
Mhm.
my head of it's about being healthy and strong, not what I look like
Not the
compared to
size,
somebody
not, yeah.
else. But it's so hard to not let that other mindset kind of creep in every so often. And to let that mindset go is not an easy one, because I think naturally, culturally, and naturally, we are judgmental people, and we
Mhm.
are a judgmental society, and we do compare ourselves to
Yeah.
others. And it's making that conscious decision, that conscious effort of letting that mindset go, of letting that stereotype or that cultural influence go, and try and just remind yourself that that's not who I am, and
Mhm.
to accept yourself for who you are. But again, it gets really tough sometimes to let that go.
It does. It does.
Uh-huh.
And we get like in that loop, I think, in our heads, and we get, we've always, everybody knows that the negative things are easier to stick in your head than the positive ones. And I think we get stuck in that negative loop where we're holding on to those,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get off of it and let it go.
Yes. It is definitely. And I mean, I caught myself on a vacation comparing myself and feeling very infuriated, like,
Mhm.
not, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be wearing this. I shouldn't, all of those intrusive negative thoughts started just
Yeah.
pouring into my head. And then I stopped myself and thought, what am I doing? Like, I'm a mom. My body has performed miracles. I am strong. I am a strong woman. Like, why am I so down on how I look? Like, I should be sitting there saying, wow, look at what my body has done for me. Look at how strong I am. But again, it is so hard.
It is.
Sometimes, especially when you are in a specific environment
Mhm.
and you're surrounded by other strong, beautiful people, you start to make those comparisons.
Right. And it's
And
hard to let that go.
it is really hard to let that go, and to remind yourself that um, it's a mindset. It is a
Mhm.
complete mindset. And we should embrace ourselves. And going into this month, self care, but kindness, showing ourselves kindness. And, you know, if I had a daughter, would I want her to have those same thoughts? Would I want her to
Mhm.
feel the same way? Um, and looking back, I think it's really interesting. My mom is this petite, darling little woman, but even she has like a lot of intrusive thoughts of, um, I'm not, you know, this size, I'm not good
Mhm.
enough, or my body is not good enough for this or that, or, my stomach's too big, or my chest isn't big enough, or things like that,
Yeah.
where
I have stretch marks. I have
I
this.
have
Yeah,
stretch marks, right? I have spider veins, I have
exactly.
this, I have that. It's it's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
It's kind of
But I
crazy.
think the goal in letting go too is when we let go of the intrusive thoughts and we make room for more kindness and more compassion for ourselves and others, the beauty that can come out of that letting go of the negative. You know what I mean? Like to create more room.
Definitely, because I feel like when you let go, you're allowing the kindness and the confidence to come back.
Right.
And you're not concentrating on those negative thoughts. You're now concentrating on something completely different and enjoying your vacation or enjoying the moment that you're in, enjoying who you're with or what you're doing instead of how you look or how you're being perceived to the other person. Because what also came into my head is, what if somebody's looking at me and thinking, wow, she looks amazing and
They
I
probably were.
right. And so I'm like, they could be feeling really bad about themselves.
Right. And how
I
do we
have,
change it? How do we change the narrative?
right.
Yeah.
How do we change the narrative? How do we let go of the narrative?
That
And
that's been embedded in us so deeply that
yeah,
it becomes a habit. It's like
it does.
generations and generations of this. And this is where we've gotten, and what good has it done us? How do we break that cycle and let it go?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I think it takes all of us together understanding and realizing that we are enough
Mhm.
and accepting that. I think accepting those that we are not nobody's perfect, nobody is going to be perfect. Maybe projecting more realistic images would be helpful as
Yeah.
well. And there
Well,
are
and I
some,
think being open about it, and even in front of
yeah.
our own kids, not
Mhm.
criticizing ourselves, because I know I'm guilty of that too. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't put this bathing suit on. Look at and instead saying, you know what, I feel really good in this. I think I'm going to wear this today. Like, let's let go of the
Yes.
negative talk we even have, not just
Yes.
in our heads, but out loud too. Let's
Yes.
change it to be a little bit more confident and positive and focusing on
Right.
the present moment and just being in that moment and letting go of all the other negative stuff that comes along with it.
Exactly. And maybe complimenting each other, maybe uplifting each other would be helpful as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think if somebody had come by and said, "Oh, I love your swimsuit," or "You love your top," or "That's a great color on you," maybe that
Hmm.
would have been like, "Oh, okay." That
Yeah,
would have given you that tiny bit of confidence, or that tiny
exactly.
bit of like cutting through those intrusive thoughts or those
Doesn't that make you think that we should say that to other people? Like, makes me think every time I'm out, I feel like I should compliment someone on something.
yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
your shirt. That's a great color. Your hair looks great today. Something
Yes.
to just boost everybody's self-esteem a little bit, confidence.
And it's kindness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's letting go of our own self ego
Goodness. Yeah,
and spreading kindness, being kind to others, helping them feel, because then in turn that will help you feel good as well. So
exactly.
definitely, definitely. But yes, letting go of those negative and physical thoughts are a hard one. That's a
Hmm.
really, really hard one, especially since our bodies go through so many changes.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. We were just talking
so
about that. Yeah.
yes, so many changes and more to come.
Hmm.
And I think that is the hardest part, is sometimes, you make that comparison of yourself of now to when you were younger. And it's like, no, no. And I remind myself, I'm not that age.
Yep. I
This
get
is
it.
who I am
Yeah.
today, and to embrace that and to love it and to make the best of it.
Yeah.
But
It's a lot about being present in the moment that we're in
it
now.
is. It is about being present in the moment now
Yeah.
and loving ourselves, accepting ourselves for who we are, but in turn, accepting others for who they are, being kind to them and helping them maybe feel a little bit better about themselves.
Exactly.
I think would be a great thing to do.
That should be everybody's challenge this week. Go out there and empower somebody else.
Yes, go empower others because in turn it will empower you for
Let's
sure.
spread some more kindness.
Yes. a lot more.
Yeah, please.
World needs a lot of kindness.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It
A little
needs
more
a
loving compassion for sure.
definitely, definitely. Um, I wanted to just go over a quote that Kelly had in her blog because it was amazing. And I wanted to point this out because before we end here, um, so you said we let go of control of knowing where they are, who they are with, of being the one they come to, with their wins and their frustrations. We let go of the role we once had and grow into a different role. With each kid, it has been a little bit different. It has been a little bit of a different experience. And I have a feeling when my youngest graduates high school next year, it will hit a whole different way. Each of my kids has taught me something about letting go. I have learned that letting go of expectation of what my children will be has opened up these beautiful relationships where they can truly be themselves, and I get to sit back and watch with amazement how incredible, talented, compassionate, beautiful, and loving they are. I mean, come on. Don't cry.
May's hard, guys.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. That I think sums up most parents and
Yeah,
how, we feel in the different stages. But then thinking back, like how our parents probably felt about us,
yeah,
and
for
putting
sure.
ourselves into their shoes,
Hmm.
and watching us grow into parents and into those roles. It's just like life just has so many different stages.
Yeah,
Letting go of each stage so that you can grow into the next is such an important thing.
it is. It is.
But
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
That was absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
So, everyone, we will wrap this up. I know it's short and sweet. We just wanted to jump on here and recap for May and check in with everybody. We have some really exciting things coming up for June. So please, please stay tuned and check in with us. We've got some fun social media things coming up for June. We are going to be focusing on self-care. And we have a great class coming up on the 10th. Join us for another bar and Pilates fusion class. Signups will be on our link in our bio, or go to tanktopsandsweaters.com. As well as we are bringing happy hour back. So if you ever wanted to join us for a live conversation, please join us on the 15th of this month. It will be in the evening, 5:30 Pacific time and 8:30 Eastern time.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yes. We always get
All
that.
right. Again, sign up. Tank Tops and Sweaters will have a link for the sign up, and that we will just send you the link so you can join us live for a conversation about anything and everything in between. So thank you once again. Again, go spread kindness into the world. Maybe if we actually showed a little bit of kindness to each and every person we run across, we can get some in return and make the world a bit better. But have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. And we will see you next time. Take
We'll
care.
see you soon.